what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This is the Aston Villa versus Arsenal preview. So many games coming up. I'm like, what is it again? It's the Aston Villa versus Arsenal preview, where we've got to finish a Premier League campaign. No matter how bad that Premier League campaign is going to look, we've got to finish that thing. And yes, we take on Aston Villa on Tuesday. Well, I'm guessing beforehand we'll know whether they're relegated or not. I only say that because I'm currently watching. I say I'm watching. It's on in the background. As I record this, Brighton versus Newcastle. Brighton need a point to guarantee safety. So I guess we'll know what sort of Aston Villa side we're getting. From our perspective, it's feel good at the moment. You know, Arsenal, we've come off the back of, we've beaten two best teams in England, in Liverpool and in Man City within a week. And listen, for all I'll say about getting carried away and that is no mean feat, people. Most people were predicting that we'll get piped in both games. Never mind coming away with both games with a victory and only conceding a goal at that. It does seem quite amazing when you look at it like that. And actually now, as Arsenal fans, all of us have something to look forward to, a final where we can actually win a trophy in what is a disastrous season. Fair play, fair play. You have to be pleased with that. Yes, could our season be better? Absolutely. There's so many things about our season that could be better. But in terms of that, I think you have to look at it and say, all right, considering where we were 3-4 weeks ago, I'll take that. Considering where we were at the start of the project restart, I'll take that. What does it bode for the future? There's many possibilities. I did suggest this when we were doing a watch along. When nearly we're doing a watch along for obviously the semi-final. I said actually winning something like the FA Cup could do one of two things. It could either convince someone like Aubameyang, all right, I can see what you lot are trying to do here. I can see that you lot are trying to build something here, and I'll be more inclined to stay. On the flip side of that, he's not won anything for us. So he might look at it and say to himself, all right, well, I've at least won you guys this and won you guys the FA Cup. So I'll ride off into the sunset. There is no doubt that our season is very much that final. Because incidentally, apart from the fact that winning something is always important, there is also a Europa League place attached to that, winning that competition. So Arsenal's focus rightly would go into that cup. Bear in mind, the final is on the 1st, which is 10 days from now. 11 days from now. So you're going to be looking at options. You're going to think to yourself, okay, who can we afford to play in this competition? Who can we not afford to play in this competition? Going into at the Aston Villa game, we already don't have Squadra Mustafi, who obviously came off in the City game, who's been in good form. I won't just say recently, I would say all season. He's been in very good form. And actually, subsequently, a lot of clubs are looking at Squadra Mustafi as a potential possibility, as someone that they may want, and you can completely understand that. I think from our point of view, I would like us to rotate a little bit. I know that people are not often a big fan of rotation, but I think, again, this is something I said in the watch along, because I know Lee is one of said people. But I think once you come out of a game where you've just beaten two of the best teams in England, in Liverpool and City, where, let's face it, in both of those games, you gave everything. Not only that, they were back-to-back as well. I'd like us just to cut the guys some slack and give them a little break here and there. So that I'm saying that because I don't want you to see the team and think, what's Chig done? Because no doubt you guys will anyway. But at least that's an explanation into my mind as to why I've made certain changes here and there. So I've tweaked it up. I'm going to explain exactly my thought process as to why I've done certain things here and there. But here is my hopeful 1-11 as the side that I would hope would play Aston Villa tomorrow night. Now, bear with me as I bring it up for you guys. Okay, I think you guys should be able to see that. And if not, let me just bring in the Zoom. And I'll explain the team. All right, you know how we do this. We go from back to front. So let's do this. With Martinez in goal. What have I said that's not been said about this goalkeeper? I think everyone is pretty happy with that. Back three, I'm going to stick with it. I was going to change it for Aston Villa, but I figured, you know what? Away from home, you never know with Arsenal. Maybe Villa, by the time we get to Villa Park, either A, have something to play for, or B, they may decide to just sign off in style in terms of the Premier League. By the way, I just realised something. I need to last screen it because you guys don't need to see my things. So I figured that they might need to. They still may be playing for something. So let's just keep it with a back three. I'm gonna go Rob Holding. Now you've noticed I put Rob Holding instead of Papa. I put Rob Holding the right hand side of the three. Now the reason I've done that is just in case Mustafi is not able to come back in time, then you would think that Rob Holding will be the next person ready to step up into Mustafi's position and play on the right-hand side of those three. In an ideal world, if Papa was in, I don't know what he's done to piss off Arteta, but Papa's had the most recent experience as a right-back. So you would have thought, actually, that would be an ideal place for him, but because he's not the slowest either, Papa, but I'm going to put Rob Holding there. Next game, I'm going to go with Papa. Definitely very possible that you could go with David Luiz after his excellent man of the match performance against City. I thought he was superb. You got to give the devil his due sometimes. And in this particular instance, you guys know I'm not a big fan of David Luiz, but he was my man of the match. I thought he was superb. He was faultless. And you don't get to see that every day from David Luiz. So I've gone with David Luiz in this particular game. I've gone with Papa, as you can see in the middle. Not had a lot of football. I still think the chances that we see him play again this season are slim to none. But again, while we have him, play him. So I'm going to play Papa in this game. On the left-hand side, I'm going with Kolasinac. For no other reason other than I'd quite like to see Tierney get rested. He's played a lot of games recently. Yes, I get that he's not played a lot of football throughout the season, but we're playing a lot of games in a very short span of time with a player that is notoriously injury prone. Does worry me a little bit. He's been so good in the last couple of games. I'd say let's just relax, put him on the bench. And for me, I'd play Kolasinac there. Hopefully, there shouldn't be too many disasters at Villa Park for Kolasinac. On left wing back, I'm going with Saka. He'll feel a bit aggrieved that he was dropped from the last match. I can completely understand why he was dropped from the last match. It was an opportunity to try something, and it happened to work. I don't see that being the thing going forward. Going forward. The only reason I'm playing Saka this far back is just because I've dropped Tierney for this game. So I'm not having sudden rethinking about. I'm not suddenly thinking that Saka's a left wing back. Don't worry, people. But for me, I'm going to play him in this particular game in this position. On the other side, I've gone with Cedric. I saw a lot of people crapping on Hector Bellerin against City. A lot. Funny enough, people thought I was being harsh when I gave him a 7 out of 10. I know people that gave him 2 out of 10 against City. I must admit, I didn't agree with that. I didn't. I've seen Hector play much, much worse. So for me, I thought he was okay. Did he look particularly confident? No. But I've definitely seen him play much worse than that. And actually, I thought largely he did all right. He recovered certain areas where he made slight mistakes or moved a little bit too soon or got suckered in a bit too much. Actually, I thought he made decent recovery. So I didn't understand the criticism for him. However, I'm going to play Cedric in this game. In the middle, I want to go with Lucas and I'm going with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. They're much the same type of player. So I think the likelihood that these two play together are, again, slim to none. I'd like to see Ainsley just play in the middle. Maybe give Arteta something else to think about, playing in the middle. And then I'd like to see Torreira gain some fitness because I think this is going to be his role for the rest of the season. It's just coming on, killing time, running around, almost doing a Willock. And there's definitely a case to be made that Willock might be one of the two in the middle. And I wouldn't necessarily hate, like if you said to me that, no, actually, I'm going to play Lucas and I'm going to play Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But this is my hope for 1 to 11 people. And I'm going with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. On the right-hand side, I'm going with Nelson. I thought Pepe was much improved against City, particularly in the first half. I thought he was excellent. Definitely looked like our most dangerous player, actually, in the first half. In the second half, I thought he was a lot more industrious. So worked hard, dropped real deep, helping out Mustafi as much as he could. And then even then, he had a role to play in the second goal, which he laid the ball off for Tierney's assist. So I just can't wait. I can't wait till he gets into his full stride, Pepe. You know, I truly believe he'll be something. But I can definitely understand the criticism. I rest him in this game personally, bring him on a bit later on in the game. And in which case I play Nelson. You know, he did score the other day. You guys know that I disagreed heavily with Lee when he said that he didn't think he did that much. Actually, I thought he did pretty well. And, you know, another one who I think is industrious, runs. Do I ultimately think he'll be good enough for Arsenal? No. But while he's here, play him. And I play him in this game. Left-hand side, I'm playing Aubameyang. Ordinarily, I'd rest Aubameyang all day long. But he's also got a golden boot that I know he wants. And this may be a time against a very possibly relegated Aston Villa, maybe a time that he wants to capitalize and score some goals. So I play him. At this point, I'm doing whatever it is I can to make Aubameyang happy so he signs on the dotted line. So that's why I play him in this game. Up top, I'm going Lacazette. I'm keeping up this form. I know that Eddie's back. If Eddie walks back into this team, you're not sending him the right message. You're not sending him the right message. It was a silly challenge that got himself sent off. My man, don't just stroll back into the starting lineup of his team. He needs to, again, go back to the drawing board, work for it, earn it, learn from his mistakes. You're not sending him the right message, him just starting this game, in my opinion. So hopefully he won't. And I would see Eddie back in this game. Sorry, I'll see Lacazette start this game. Keep up his form. I think a sharp Lacazette is a dangerous Lacazette. Whilst I still feel like, I don't know where this sudden upturn of form has come from. Maybe he wants to put himself in a shop window. Whatever his reason is, so be it. Would I still sell Lacazette? Yes, I would. Because let me tell you something. I would be a hypocrite if I criticize Olivier Giroud for not scoring for 3 months and wanting to sell him and not doing the same thing for Lacazette, who didn't score for 4. It's as simple as that. He's in great form right now, which is why I'd start him. I think keep it up. We need these guys in great form for 10 days' time, 11 days' time. But in the long run, yes, I would still sell Lacazette. Having said all of that, I hope he bangs in a couple more goals and his confidence improves ahead of Tuesday's game. So with that in mind, I'm going to go towards Tuesday's game and give my opinion on what I think will happen. Tuesday's game, I think, you know, typically with games against Aston Villa, they're always a little tight. You know, Villa Park it's always like that. It's always a little bit tight. It's always well contested, but there's always a little something happening at Villa Park. I think Villa I've got a feeling they're the type of team that will get relegated and still put in a decent performance. And I'm expecting that to be the case. I'm expecting them to still put in a decent performance. So I don't think we should underestimate them. And as long as we don't do that, we should win. Like I say, games at Villa Park are notoriously tight. But nevertheless, I'm going 3-1 Arsenal. I'm expecting Aubameyang, Lacazette, a Lacazette brace, and an Aubameyang goal. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it for the comments below. Chat room, I know I owe you guys a long Q&A session. I'm going to make this a very quick one because what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to go make some dinner and then I'm going to do the FIFA stream I should have done yesterday. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Members, stay tuned for that one. FIFA stream will be coming up at, I'm going to say 10:30. It'll be at 10:30. So 3 hours time, the FIFA stream will be hitting. So make sure you don't miss that. For those people who keep asking, the member stream where I have people on is on Thursdays typically. So make sure if you're around on Thursday, you don't miss that. And we'll have a chit chat over the last week, things that have happened and what they're happy about the final, that sort of thing. So Thursdays are when I have my member stream. So make sure you don't miss that. And until then, really, I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. I'm out. Peace.